You think you've got my number figured out, a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Monday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Monday and I hope everyone had a good weekend. Welcome, everybody. Nadia, welcome. Charlie Martini, welcome. Sorry about that, folks. Took me a second there. Thank you all for being here. Kirkenstein's monster. The U.S. NATO military exercises against China are scary. Well, I mean, the U.S. is scary at this point. I hear the United States Marine Corps has been arresting civilians in LA. Isn't that martial law? No, I don't think that's happening. As far as I'm aware, like that. I think what's happening is the Marines are assisting, as far as they're assisting protection for these ICE goons. As far as them actually participating in arrests, I have not seen that. I could be wrong, though. Ooh, excuse me. There's a video of it that went around on Reddit and got insta-mirrored. So as far as I was able to corroborate this information, what happened was a Marine temporarily detained a person. They temporarily detained a person. He was released without charges. But yeah, they did detain someone. This was back in actually a month from today. Exactly. Drop a link in the Discord. Okay, so unfortunately, this Reddit bot deleted it. They were the original person. Arrest anti-ICE protester after children were spotted in chains at the federal detention center in LA. I would wait until we get more information on this, because if this is true, this is pretty disturbing. Ladybug, welcome. The link to the Reddit post is in the Discord. Now the Reddit post links to mirrors of the video. Let me go back to it. I'll show you right now. So this is what I see. If I click on this, it will give me this link. The OP got deleted. Mirrorbots commented the links to mirrors of the OP's video. Guess they're setting up a detention center not far from me in Michigan at an old prison. Jesus. Well, let's see. Yeah, this is not coming up for me, but it's okay. New? No, this is not coming up for me. So, I mean, like, look, this is something that we should probably pay attention to, and this original post seems to have been not that long ago, I believe, maybe a day old. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Don't share live if Kirkenstein's right. No, I'm actually no. I checked the link beforehand. I checked the link before I posted it just to show you that for me at least, it didn't quite work. All right, folks, let's get started, folks. I am extremely tired today. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you want to support the channel, you already know. If you're on the YouTube, keep doing what you're doing. Do all the stuff. Subscribe, share, like. If you're on the Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button. If you want to support the channel directly, check out the merch store. Hit the ! tip. Substack. Join the Discord, folks. And check out This Space, a working class media collective. Seriously, go sub to This Space. We are I believe, just over 2,000 subscribers. Check out my show on this space tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But there is something for everyone. There is something for everyone on this space. Mayhem Hippie, welcome. I am late. No, you're just in time. You're not late. You're just in time. We're about to get started.
I hope this gets the Blue Anon guys going too, like into calling everybody a pet in the Republican Party at least.
I mean, it really does raise some questions.
Yeah.
It would be irresponsible not to speculate.
Yeah, pedocon theory is not. It's like a theory as the theory of gravity is a theory.
100%. Hassan is 100% correct here.
All of it. So now, by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has.
By the way, I couldn't believe that this was actually Alex Jones. This is Alex Jones now. Is that Alex Jones? Yep. This is Alex Jones now.
Become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. It only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now.
Oh.
My mouth is watering right now.
Bella Lugrisi, welcome. Guest spreading lies about gun violence in schools and being sued into oblivion will age you. Yeah, being a dirtbag, being a dirtbag will do that to you. Yeah. RFK went bald? Oh, man. Welcome, Bipedal. My goodness. What being a garbage human will do to you, huh?
Because I have integrity.
I'll tell you something right now. Look at, I'm going to try and cry. One of the ways I try and cry is I get the sweat that drips off my forehead into my eyes, and I do that by doing this.
Okay, so I watched this whole video yesterday, and let me tell you, first, one of my favorite things that Alex Jones does is he drives on the Texas highway, usually going 25 miles an hour, because there are cars passing him both on the left and the right, which I always find very strange.
I mean, like, wouldn't that be like a safety hazard? What the heck is he doing? I mean, like, going slow, like, going that slow on the highway is incredibly dangerous. Hassan is everywhere. Elon's personally tuned AI proclaiming itself Mecha Hitler is definitely a sign of something. Yeah, it's a sign of Elon allowing his it's a sign of Elon training his AI to be a Nazi. That's what the sign is, that Elon is a Nazi. I must be a garbage human. The lag ruins my perfect spelling. No. Unless you're spreading conspiracy theories with the explicit purpose of helping the far right. No, it doesn't strike me. You don't strike me as the kind of person to be spreading far right conspiracy theories with the aim of laundering these ideologies. DOJ just signed a contract to use Grok. That's pretty disturbing. I have to look that up. That is actually pretty disturbing. I'm gonna have to look that up. All this to say, I don't believe that you are a garbage person. Alex Jones, on the other hand.
So he's not even on the rightmost lane.
In a Honda
I like to drive in the middle.
Yeah. And it's not a self-driving car. And this is important because he films himself while driving and talking, and he uses his hand while he's filming himself with one hand, as in no hand is touching the steering wheel the entire time when
how
he's
is he
communicating.
driving?
Right now he's parked but in the beginning of this video
So how is he driving with his knees? I'm confused. Is he just driving with his knees and keeping the steering wheel forward? Redmond Berry, welcome. Green screen? No. Alex Jones would be this guy to do that. To drive on the highway at slow speeds while filming himself. I mean, like, how would you even do that, right? Like, how would you... I can't... I mean, I guess if you have like a stand on your phone, on your car, and you press record and that's it, but you would see him driving. you would see him driving. B-Cat, welcome. Sent the link. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. This article just came out today. That's very cool, very cool. I might have to cover this on the This Space show. I'm going to put a thing here. Okay. I used to smoke weed while driving with my knees. Yeah, I figured that that's the only thing that makes sense, that he's on the highway driving on his knees while filming these videos. Chai, been a minute. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm hanging in there. Hope you're doing all right.
he actually does drive to the parking lot. Another thing that I love that Alex Jones does.
Why is he doing that?
I have no idea.
Look at the lighting.
But he will swap hands to use not to grab the steering wheel. He'll swap hands on the camera to change the camera to use his other hand to speak from time to time. And I mean, that man is a menace on the roads of Texas. I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten into a car accident already.
He looks like he's aged. This has been difficult for him.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's doing Ozempic because I can see his neck now, and it's weird.
I mean, you know, being a garbage human will do that to you too. But yeah, I guess it could be Ozempic. Good to hear. Good to see you. Glad
It's
you're
weird
here.
to be able to see his neck. Like there was, I was reading the comments of my last video because I commented on this. I did a video on this, and people were like, "I didn't realize this was Alex Jones until you pointed it out." Like that's what people
it
were
really
saying.
does. He looks different. Let's and he also looks like he might.
The only way I recognized it was Alex Jones is his voice. if you were to show me a picture without the voice, if you would have shown me a picture of Alex Jones now without the voice, I would not have been able to recognize him right off the bat. The only reason I know that was Alex Jones immediately, the only reason I knew that was Alex Jones was his voice. That's it. I've had the displeasure of hearing Alex Jones's voice for too long. Spent so many years down and out. We're not homeless outright, and just the years in homeless are and already a lot. I must be the most evil person in the history of humanity. Yeah, maybe to right wingers. Maybe to right wingers. Yeah, that might be true. He looks like any other thumb. Yeah, exactly. Like if you were to show me this picture, right here, and you were to ask me without any context, like, who is this person? I would have been like, dude, that's just like some rando, like, the only thing that's missing here is the Oakley sunglasses, and like that's literally like any like profile picture on Facebook. That gets mad about immigrants. That's literally like a generic, like, if you were to ask, not that you should, okay, but if you were to ask AI to generate a picture of like of a white guy who hates immigrants, it would be this with a pair of Oakley sunglasses. The Temu Crypt Keeper. It couldn't be me, Bella. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I could probably stand conversation with someone like Alex Jones. I was driving more at the idea that the suffering of one undergoes in life is evidence of one character. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Because this is the end of this commentary,
Yes.
this car rant, which, by the way, Alex Jones being a car rant guy is kind of sad. I mean, it's a little bit of a fall off from like being the most important media member in the right. Years and years of integrity. But
years of integrity.
His cope for the Jeffrey Epstein files, the client list not being released, and the very clear attempts at like trying to pack this up by Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, both QAnon guys, right? And Pam Bondi.
Yep. Parentheses number is how many years I've been homeless thus far. My life, not emoji way to write, not an evil way to write a word. Gotcha. You're good. I would love to have a conversation with Alex Jones. That's all I want. I just want to talk to him, like, stabbing distance. Welcome, Seth Evans. It wasn't just him. It was Abby Martin, Lud Radowski, and a whole bunch of peeps. Actually, I would like to talk to Abby Martin. Now, that's someone who I would like to have a conversation
was
with.
Also a prosecutor in the state of Florida.
Attorney General. Yeah.
Attorney General in the state of Florida during the Epstein stuff from 2011 to 2019, interestingly, just like Alexander Acosta, Trump's former labor secretary, was
Alan Dershowitz represented both Epstein and Trump.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of connections there with Jeffrey Epstein. But Alex Jones's cope for all of this, the no revelation, after making this like a signature part of his career for understandable reasons, was Trump's attending to blackmail the blackmailers with the blackmail. He's taking down the deep state. That's the only reason why he won't release these files. He's using the blackmail, the pedophile blackmail, against the deep state right now.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's what he's saying.
It's like the end times people who like just, they did the math wrong, right? Whenever they said the world was going to end. It's just there's always a new layer to this. It's funny too, like Trump is both the strong man but also always the victim of everybody around him in
deep
like
state.
the right-wing circles. Like
Yeah, I mean, of course, like the whole like the tenet, a big tenet of fascism is this whole like just distorted, up is down, play with words, right? Like simultaneously being both the strong man and the victim. I mean, like it's a core tenet, value, pillar, whatever, of fascism. Like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. They talk about how much they love democracy and freedom, but they do the exact opposite. Trump is going to be the peace president. We all see how that's going. So do we still want to be like Dan Bongino, or is the song gonna need a sequel? Well, now you did it.
I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna see Patricia McCloskey. I wanna scream for the GOP. I wanna sit with Dan Bongino. I wanna show the American flag. Eggs behind the toilet in grandma's basement. I wanna ask him if he'll be my dad. I wanna change my name to Nick Bongino. I wanna tell him about the man in the stairs. He kinda looks like Dan Bongino. Grandma tries to tell me not to go down there, but I would be safe with Dan Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like Dan Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like Dan Bongino.
Just about to hop on a stupid flight to Vancouver. Hang in there. Have a good trip. How long until Bongino or Kash Patel quit? They're both getting ready. That is actually like a very good that is actually a very good question. Because if Dan Bongino quits, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that Kash Patel will quit too. I mean, I don't know what the over under is, but we'll see how things play out in the next couple weeks. But I'll say if they do end up quitting or resigning or whatever, I'll say if it happens, it's going to be in less than a month. If it happens, it'll be in less than a month. Thank you, Igor, and thank you for stopping by. I think Republicans do things like saying that people who are homeless should not be helped because their homelessness is evidence of their evil and they don't want to sponsor evil. I mean, Republicans absolutely say that. Like, literally, they blame the individual. So the idea that someone's hardships in life are an outcome of their moral character has a very bad track record. Yep. Supposedly, Bongino never went into work on Friday, but some are saying he's been MIA since Wednesday. Uh-oh. We might get that. We might get that answer less than I thought. Maybe, maybe we'll wake up to some interesting news tomorrow or in a couple of days. Who knows? Do you think the guy's a lib? Oh, the guy who made this song? I don't know. Probably some definitely an anti. They're making fun of Dan Bongino. It's a deeply unserious song. Yeah, in 6 months, Bongino will have a tell-all book. Shirley Barber. Polymarket taking bets. Live from Polymarket Studios. What's the over-under, chat? What's the over-under? I can't take anyone with Bong in their name too much. If he just resigns, at least he's showing a spark of individual thought. I have news on Dan Bongino and having individual thoughts. I'm afraid that's not a thing. So are we taking bets on whether they decide to imprison or kill their new enemies, like Don Bongino falls out a window that he doesn't open? Who knows? I'm pretty sure Cenk has never watched Wayne's World, or he would have never taken that money. That's okay, BCat. Within 6 months, Fox News will make Bongino the new Trotsky, or is that Elon? Like, who the next fall guy is? Actually, it's unclear. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna play out with the base. I genuinely don't know how this is gonna play out. Like, will the base just end up falling in line like what how Alex Jones is doing by saying that actually this is important? Because he's gonna use the deep state to bring down the deep. I don't know. It's amazing that Trump is the one being sus AF, and yet his followers are being mad at Bondi and Bongino. 100%. The base has been harassing him on Truth Social about the Epstein's files. Yeah, I mean, like, will this hold, or is it just gonna be like a temporary flare up? I'm just glad that other people will know what I'm referencing in the future. I got you. Don't worry, BCat. 1 second. Trotsky was and has continued to be the CIA's compatible left. Communist China sounds like a lot better bet than Turf Island to me. Base will always fall in line behind Trump with an area of deviation in the hive mind thought pattern. I mean, like, the cynic in me says that that's probably what's going to happen, right? Like, the cynic in me says, like, these people never break from Trump, but, like, I mean, like, it is a pretty serious kind of red line for the Trump base. Like, all these QAnon these QAnon conspiracy people, like, that's a pretty big red line for them. So I don't know. The Epstein's followers sitting on Pam Blondie's desk, no big deal, and also they don't exist. Yep.
I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna see Patricia McCloskey. I wanna scream for the GOP. I wanna sit with Dan Bongino. I wanna show the American flag. Eggs behind the toilet in Grandma's basement. I wanna ask him if he'll be my dad. I wanna change my name to Nick Bongino. I wanna tell him about the man in the stairs. He kinda looks like Dan Bongino. Grandma tries to tell me not to go down there, but I would be safe with Dan Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like Dan Bongino. I wanna be at the RNC. I wanna be like Dan Bongino.
It's such a banger, too. It's such a banger. It's also bizarre that Trump is contradicting his own FBI. I mean, like, no, not really. It's more like he knows that he knows that he's implicated. That's the issue. Like, if I were to take a guess as to what's happening here and why Trump is being so dodgy, it's because he's implicated in these Epstein files and he knows it. And he doesn't want that getting out there because that would be very, 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 very inconvenient and very awkward if it turns out that all the things that are being said about him are actually indeed true. That's the only hypothesis, right? Like, that makes a whole lot of sense as to why he's being incredibly defensive. Why I believe you and Bipedal made a mention that both simultaneously the files existed and now all of a sudden they don't, right? Now all of a sudden when being questioned about, like, okay, well, are you gonna actually deliver on those goods? Like, hello, one of the big things that the QAnon base were wanting to see was the Epstein files, right? And all of a sudden they don't exist anymore, right? They don't exist anymore, but also, like, they were just in the Attorney General's desk being reviewed. It feels messed up to be planning a beach day as the rolling shit show dumpster fire is now leaking fireballs out of the bottom corner, setting everything else ablaze as it rolls on by. I mean, if anything, everyone deserves a beach day, okay, or the equivalent of. You'd think those files are destroyed. I mean, Trump sent the U.S. Marshals to carry out a hit on someone, so why wouldn't he do the same for Epstein? I'm surprised he's even having this much pushback on their lives. I mean, like, the conspiracy theory MAGA cult people they're serious about this. They're serious. They're serious about this. The Epstein's files are covered in cement and buried in a briny list of Loch Ness. Only whatever is down there will ever see the truth. I mean, who knows? But either way, the fact that he's getting all weird and dodgy and defensive about this only tells me that he's probably the likelihood of Donald Trump being implicated in these Epstein files is pretty likely. Is pretty high, given the fact that we already know that he has like he had a strong relationship with Epstein. He was seen partying with him on various circumstances. He's been on his plane. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he is heavily implicated in those files. I think Trump is covering for the fact that the non-existent Epstein client list won't take down the Dems, not that he's in it. He doesn't want to be reminded of how he oversold the issue. No, I think he's in it because, like, if he doesn't want to oversell the issue, like, whatever, it's a free red, it's a free, like, red meat to the base, right? Like, if he's not in it, then, like, and if there's nothing else to it, like, if the Epstein's files, right, like, let's take that hypothetical. Let's say the Epstein's files were released and there's, like, not really much in it, even, like, with regards to implicating, like, I don't know, Dem politicians or whatever. Then, like, it's just free meat to the base, right? You get the Epstein files and look who's in it, and then, like, they can make their own conspiracy theories about that. But that's not it. I think that it's because he's in it and he's implicated, like, very, very heavily. if you catch my drift. Not just, oh, we know he's in the flight logs. I mean, heavily implicated. Everything about him screams child predator. Yep. If Trump said he had the Epstein's files, if Trump said he had Epstein on live because he thought jail was too good for him, given the crimes he committed, they'd look at him like a hero. He could have probably played it off that way, right? And none of these people would have questioned him. Ghislaine wants to testify before Congress, and Republicans are saying hell no. Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why. A girl Trump molested sued him about it and has since disappeared. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We know he's a predator. Like, and we know he specifically is like very the guy has walked in to dressing rooms of the teen pageants that he owned back in the day. So to say that to say that like this dude's anything but a predator, I mean, why haven't Trump victims sued him in civil court? Well, one has, and she won, right? And also, it's not, when it comes to assaults, when it comes to sexual crimes in nature, a lot of the times victims just don't come forward. And if they do, it's years and years and decades later. We don't know how many victims actually exist for Trump. The Dems weren't allowed to sink Kavanaugh. Wouldn't they do the same with the Trump accusation? Well, I mean, not really. The Kavanaugh stuff was pretty concerning. The guy's a creep, no doubt about it. Brett Kavanaugh is incredibly. I don't know, like I can't remember like the details of the story, but overall, like it definitely gave me predator vibes or weird, but that's not that's not anything like out of the ordinary. Very well capable of rearranging the deep state, the real ones, the military industrial complex, doing the same to him. You're all guilty that list didn't get released by either party because it would have brought the ruling elites. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, let's be very clear. There's a lot of people in that list that I imagine don't want that list getting out there. For sure, mayhem hippie, for sure. We have at least 2 credibly accused rapists on the Supreme Court. Yep. Oh shoot! Thank you. This story actually is another one. I do want to see if I have enough time. If not, I'm gonna go over it again tomorrow on my show on this space. But yeah, this is another story that's really. I was actually looking at this earlier. I'm gonna put that aside and save it and see if I can go over it today. I mean, if I do get to it today, then I'll just go over it tomorrow again because it's very, very wild. Once people start talking about the ruling elites, people stop caring about evidence and are looking for a political win. I mean, like what we mean by ruling elites, we mean like very wealthy and powerful people. So it's not out of, and we know, like, I mean, come on, Bill Clinton, definitely a creep. Donald Trump, definitely a creep. And so that's who we're talking about, who don't want, don't want that list coming out, right? A lot of very wealthy and powerful people are implicated in that list. We mean the people that claim to be our leaders and are just out to make a buck by screwing over people. Yep. Oh, by the way, folks, right, the actual objective. Yeah, I mean, like, wealthy, powerful people. Yes. And there's a whole lot of them that are implicated that we don't even know about. That we don't even know about. The Dem leadership intervened to torpedo the Kavanaugh hearings. Biden personally with Anita Hill. Yep. No one gets excited. No one gets excited about working class sex rings. Only elite sex rings is when people get excited. No, I don't want exploitation anywhere. Like normal sex trafficking rings aren't okay either. The only reason these get a little bit more publicity is because these are very wealthy and powerful people that are being implicated. Billionaires look out for each other. Trump is protecting his mega rich friends by doing this. And he's protecting himself. More importantly above all is he's protecting himself. Because I would bet, I would bet real American dollars that that this guy is implicated very heavily in these Epstein files. And he's doing everything that he can to make sure that that doesn't come out to light, okay? If you ask me, if I were to make a bet with real American dollars, I would say that this guy is scared and he's acting very sus, and he's acting very, very, very defensive about something that he supposedly already had in his hands, so to speak, and didn't release it, and now all of a sudden, when being asked and being pushed on it, he gets a little bit squirrely. FC Island wasn't cheap. Nope. Sex work should be legal and regulated. Yep, true. True, Seth Evans. Working class folks don't exactly have the luxury and endless free time and resource to get up to crimes in the same degree or scale. Yeah. 100%, Seth Evans. Yeah, you want to talk about like what's significant also about stories like this is how many people are gonna go to jail for this versus how many like non-celebrity or politician or wealthy capitalist class people sex rings get busted all the time, and people go to jail for that versus how many of these people are going to see consequences? How many of these people, do you think that Donald Trump is ever going to see the inside of a jail cell? I think we focus on this because Trump, these are leaders. Trump campaigned on releasing those files, and suddenly they do not exist, and the footage they released was doctored and edited. Yeah, and also, what Seth is talking about is like, sex trafficking rings get busted up all the time, right? Versus like how what are the consequences that are going to come out of these Epstein files? Do you think that people are going to arrest and imprison Donald Trump? Sounds like he's getting away with it. Did you hear Tim Pool's cope today? Some mental gymnastics. No, I did not. In the olden times, the mega rich purchased forgiveness for their sins from the Catholic Church. Nowadays, they hired lawyers, PR firms, and social media shells. Right, that's what the layer of much less wealthy people at their wealth affords them to insulate as the fall guys for. The only person we know got locked up was Ghislaine, and now they're saying they don't even have evidence on her. Yeah, and also, didn't Trump like float the idea of pardoning Ghislaine? Aaron Brown did an episode. He watches that garbage so we don't have to. God bless. Saudi princes, English kings, U.S. politicians see jail. Yeah, wealthy people. Jail? Basically, Trump is protecting America from financial. Oh, he's going like he's going like the Alex Jones route. Didn't Alex Jones basically make the same, or didn't Trump make the same argument? Like, oh, I'm just protecting the country, or someone made this argument, or is it only Tim Pool? I may be wrong about this. That he needs to keep the Epstein list a secret because he's trying to protect America because the people implicated would bring down the world's economy or something, whatever. I mean, like silly stuff. I don't know if it's Tim Pool, the only person, or or if that was the oranges of that theory. But I'm pretty sure I've heard somebody else make that theory. You mean protecting himself? Yep. It ultimately doesn't matter. We're not going to have the freedom to speak out on this anytime soon. You'll be rounded up and brought to a rehab camp or a work camp just for asking questions. Trump was worried about what she could have and would have said, which is why he wanted to pardon her. Yep. 100%. This is about himself. If you were to ask me to take a guess, it's 100% about himself. And given the fact that Trump is such a narcissistic person, it all tracks. Everything is about him, right? So yeah, everything. Look, I don't know what's in those files. Okay, I don't know what Trump is thinking, but what I do know is his actions. What I do know is the tweets that he's been posted. What I do know is he's offering or mulling the idea of pardoning Ghislaine, the only living connection to us finding out what exactly happened with Jeffrey Epstein as far as like his crimes. I mean, all of it points to this is someone who is scared and terrified that this information gets out. And the reason why someone would be terrified that this information gets out is because they're implicated in it heavily. That's it. I wish her well. Ghislaine Maxwell, Ghislaine, I wish you well.
Problem for Jones is this has ended. This was my meal ticket for almost a decade.
Maxwell was tried already, don't we know? No, she hasn't. She's still in jail. Or was she already convicted? Yeah, she was sentenced to 20 years. Okay, so that's why he was floating the idea of pardoning her. Maxwell Chartered, don't we know it? Yeah, we do. And the problem is, she wanted to testify to Congress. Maxwell's already tried. Ghislaine wants you to know that she didn't unalive herself next week. Yeah, she was convicted. Can we? She can write a book. Yeah, she can. Trump probably thinks that the very fabric of the cosmos itself will unravel when he passes on, and he's high on that smell of his own farts. Sam had fun with Hassan on Friday with a banger episode. Kyle and Hassan. Yep. Back-to-back bangers. You had Hassan on one episode, and then Kyle Kalinske and the founders of this space were there.
And I was relying on at least 2 or 3 more years of this.
I think like
How am I going to? I need to raise money. I need to raise money badly.
President Trump, throw me a bone. Why won't you throw me a bone? Just say like Hillary Clinton's a pedophile or something.
I needed the fund to get to Mexico, where I was hoping to hide out with the money that I've scuttled away.
You know, he's like, you know how like the law enforcement will turn informants in the mafia when they're in like a desperate situation or that kind of thing. The FBI and the CIA and the Deep State gotta reach out to Alex Jones.
You're
here.
pure.
If they haven't already.
I'm sorry. If you don't,
You're pure evil.
Yeah.
Even
I don't think they haven't
suggesting
already.
that.
I think
I'm not.
These guys are so delusional. Oh, dude, you walked into the wrong fucking stream. You walked into the... Are you lost? Are you lost? Did you see, like, the sign? Did you see the sign and that said progressive leftist stream? Because it sounds like you walked into the wrong stream. Guess I'll leave. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Mouselander, welcome. How about the hundreds of employees, cooks, cleaners, pilots? Epstein didn't do all this alone. I'm pretty sure that I have trouble understanding what the cooks would. I mean, unless they're witnesses, but yeah. Point being is that there are accomplices, for sure. There are accomplices for sure. The biggest one, who knows the most information, would be Ghislaine Maxwell. Etchbox, welcome. Imagine saying these three are delusional when talking about Alex Jones. Yep. The employees turned over evidence in exchange for lighter sentences. I knew I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque. Yeah, I know. I love the bots. I love Posada bot. Out of morbid curiosity, I want to see such people stick around and just a bit. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. I didn't even ban them. I didn't even ban them. White Rooster just came from a Tim Pool stream. Oh, okay. That tracks. That tracks. AT, what did you think of that Hassan guy? I don't know. He seems kind of suspect. Never seen this Hassan character. Kitty's playing, hello. Bootalu, hello. Imagine watching a Tim Pool stream in 2025. It couldn't be me, honestly. I'd literally rather do anything else than watch a Tim Pool stream. Maxwell has already testified. Yeah, she got convicted. I'm just trying to understand, like, what the point is. I've been wanting to ask you. Like Hassan's great. Like, actually, like, a genuine answer is Hassan's great. And I'm glad that he got to go on the Majority Report. I'm hanging in there.
No, I think Alex Jones has been a government operative.
Oh, that's what I used to say. It was
Yeah.
like if Alex Jones didn't exist, the CIA would invent
Yeah.
him. Just because how else can you channel people's political energy down a complete wormhole? Now, essentially, it's like a self-licking ice cream cone. They don't need to seed it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a whole like.
That's a lie. Hassan is a raging narcissist. If I had a nickel for every non-corrupted government, I'd have 0. White Rooster came from an Asmon cult. I mean, either one could have been completely plausible. Either one could have been completely plausible. Michael Hassler, welcome.
Industry.
I think the role he played for years and years was like the one truthful thing that he would speak on, packaged in between like lizard people conspiracies to make the one truthful conspiracy seem also ridiculous. Because like, why are you going to trust the interdimensional vampire guy when he says that there are, mass government surveillance operations taking place? It might have been a broken clock situation, or it might have been a deliberate attempt by some agents that were feeding him reliable information every now and then.
Right.
Assman Cole. It'd be hard to be as hot as Hassan and not be at least a little bit narcissistic. Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. To be a content creator, I think, to be like a media personality, there has to be like some kind of degree, right? Like maybe not like to the point of being like a pathological narcissism, but like there has to be some kind of like there has to be something driving that, I mean, why else would you put yourself on camera, right? Anyways, have you guys subbed to my channel and liked my stream and followed me on the Twitch? Did I mention that? Yes, I have been told that Hassan is the leftist biggest himbo.
And then feeding him a whole bunch of nonsensical bullshit. So either he was like a willing participant or an unwilling actor here. But I think the role.
But anyway, the point being is like Hassan. There may be a touch of narcissism, but his political ideology, his political advocacy, is good. It does the world good.
He played in American political discourse remains one of major worth, at least in the beginning, for the intelligence community.
He had a moment that I see as analogous to I don't know what that crackling is. But he had a moment. There was a moment where Tucker Carlson was on C-SPAN in 2000 talking about Bill O'Reilly, and he had written a book, and he was like, Bill O'Reilly's populism is fake, and it's not going to last. He's going to get some stewardess is going to say he's going to yell at some stewardess, and the whole thing is going to fall apart. And I think Tucker Carlson realized over the years, like, no, it didn't. And when he got into Bill O'Reilly's slot, he pretended like he was the everyman. And there's a similar clip of Alex Jones talking about David Icke, who a British guy who came up with all the changeling lizard people stuff. And he said, he's the turd in the punch bowl while I'm giving real information, back in the day.
Yeah.
And I Alex Jones realized at one point, like, actually, no, I can
Be the turd in the
I can
punch
be
bowl.
the turd in the punch bowl
Yeah.
and do much better. And that, I think, is, where it landed him. He just got caught, essentially.
But I do think that like conspiracy theories play a really important role in political discourse in perpetuity. It's not like a new phenomena.
John Birch Society.
Absolutely. And the reason why, I mean, we're seeing it in popular discourse.
Crap. And just as I was literally, while I was muted, okay, while I was muted, I was criticizing and hypothesizing that it was actually Hassan's phone that was creating the crackling static noise previously. And I was doing all that muted. Professional.
Now it's
professional
never
streamer
been
moment.
as we've never been as conspiratorial as we are now, for sure.
That's because I think of tech.
Yeah, that definitely, social media plays a major role in it. But the reason why it plays a formative role is because it's a byproduct of liberalism. If the world in this like spiritual idealized version is built around the good bad dynamic, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, instead of an underlying materialist analysis for how history is moving, then you ultimately have to find villains, and those villains have to be, shadowy figures that are in cigar smoke filled rooms, and like backdoor deals that are moving society in a direction for pure evil, rather than
and usually that ends up just being like twisted into anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Like that's usually where those end up. Not always, but like 99. Okay, well maybe I'm exaggerating, but like a very good amount of those conspiracy theories about a cabal of elites or whatever, and the end up being just like anti-Semitic. When in reality, like there's nothing, like in reality, like there's nothing shadowy about this. It's the capital class. They've got names, right? I'll be back if we're still here in 15. Oh, I'm 90% sure that we'll be here in 15. And our president will not be deterred in his fight against radical Muslims. Now, does anybody have any other questions? To be fair, Bill O'Reilly gave us one of the greatest unscripted moments of all time. We'll do it live. I saw O'Reilly and good Republican McCain talking about the browning of America. Yeah, kind of tracks for Bill O'Reilly.
doing it in broad daylight through class interests that they express with regular frequency with no pushback whatsoever. And I think that's the reason why liberalism needs a perfect bow to basically wrap this ordeal around. And that's why so many people...
No problem. Thank you, Soul Life.
People find themselves swept away with conspiracy theories because they have no like real way of looking at the world and analyzing the events that unfold in a way that I think the chattel slavery system required some kind of different reasoning for why black people could be enslaved, because if they convert to Christianity, you can't enslave them because the Bible says you can't enslave Christians. So then racial dynamics come into play, where black people are considered a second-class citizen, or not even a citizen at all, not humans at all, in an effort to justify slavery, chattel slavery, and then what came out of that? Scientific racism, the debunked science of phrenology and eugenicists, right? That was a way to logically wrap everything up in this neat little logical system. If they're actually scientifically found to be not human, then it justifies all of the untold amounts of cruelty
Yep.
that slavers could do to black people.
I mean, we see that today with trans folk. I mean, that
Yeah.
is it's a similar project, right? I mean, to label trans people as, psychologically broken or some type of defect, then the logic follows from that. So is your argument that liberalism is so moralistic that it creates it takes it out of the material realm and makes it just a question of good or bad or some type of
liberalism mystifies class dynamics deliberately in an attempt to justify its existence, and because it's the monoculture, both Republicans and Democrats alike exhibit liberal tendencies, and ultimately, if you want like a completely if you want like a full moral system surrounding liberalism, you have to inevitably arrive at like villains in society, and those villains are always usually they're Jewish people. That's usually what it points to, like lizard people, which is an analog. But I think that's it's a necessity for people that are seeking out like why the systems exist in the ways that they do. They're like, I want to scratch the surface of this information. I want to find out exactly why life seemingly keeps getting worse and worse. And when people are desperate and they are completely shut off from this alternative way of looking at it, from
Trump, Musk, Theo, and Epstein are all eugenicists. Yep. Pam Bondi fired JD Senior Ethics, Justice Department Senior Ethics Attorney Joseph Terrell. Oof. Uh-oh. Make fun of lizard people like we haven't seen Mark Zuckerberg. Deliberate to the extent that it is a strain of liberalism that self-consciously attempts to justify capitalism as the best we can do, if not actually good in its own right. Yep. And not deliberate, but no less the same, justifying and apologizing for to the extent liberals, in fact, so deep into capitalist realism. Yep. They're going to Holocaust trans people. I suspect that trans people in particular are definitely on the high end of that list. I mean, they've been exclusively targeted, specifically targeted for almost, like nonstop, like 10 years now, as far as like what this Trump MAGA America First kind of movement has been ramping up since Trump's first term. Not that attacks on trans people haven't been a thing before. I'm just saying that this exclusive targeting has been ratcheted up significantly in the 2015 all the way up until now, as well as the immigrants, as well as radical leftists. But yeah, particularly trans people have been at the top of the list. Of people being demonized and otherized for quite a minute now. Lara Trump told right-wing podcaster Benny Johnson on Monday that she believes the Trump administration will release more information related to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, sure. I'll believe it when I see it. They legitimately cannot imagine, let alone believe in, the possibility of an alternative outside capitalism. So for that kind of liberal, the class dynamics of it all are actually invisible. And that's why they're incapable of being able to fight fascism.
From looking at it even from the basis of like sociological experiments, or looking at it from the basis of dialectical materialism, they inevitably arrive at this fantastic narrative of good bad people, and they find themselves swept away with conspiracies.
It's individualism.
Hey, folks.
Dialectical materialism. What is this guy, a Marxist? Get this guy out of here. Malcolm X warned about the white liberal. Yep. Charges dropped against Atlanta journalist detained by ICE. The last remaining charges have been dropped against Mario Guevara, a prominent Spanish language journalist outside of Atlanta who was arrested by local police while covering No Kings Day protests in June. The Gwinnett County solicitor, Lisa Marie Bristol, announced on Thursday that her office would not prosecute the 3 traffic citations laid by Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office following Guevara's arrest in the DeKalb County. Guevara was turned over to ICE shortly after his arrest and has remained in federal custody despite being granted bond more than a week ago. We're still talking about remarks. Nobody cares about that guy. Malcolm X warned about a lot of things. Yep. We understand the significant public interest in this matter and recognize that there are strongly held views on both sides. She wrote, our prosecutorial decisions are guided solely by legal standards and the sufficiency of evidence to meet the burden of proof required by Georgia law. Guevara was arrested on June 14th while he was live streaming a protest in Doraville, an immigrant-heavy neighborhood near Atlanta. Other charges against Guevara for reckless driving and failure to obey traffic signs could not be charged under Georgia law because the infractions occurred on private property. The solicitor said there's insufficient evidence to sustain the remaining charge of unlawful use of telecommunication device issued after Guevara allegedly had been using a cell phone to live stream while driving. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office said it issued the charges after Guevara compromised operational integrity and jeopardized the safety of victims of a trafficking and child exploitation unit case by live streaming their activities. Yeah, okay. Sure, bud. Why we still talk about Karl Marx? It's only self-evident that the experiences of last century and some changes since he lived have proved him deafening correct, yet still lessons by enough people with the power to make use of them at least clearly not learned yet. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oh, yes. We're going to talk about this in a second. Mayhem Hippie. Please don't film the cops doing crime. They don't want to confirm what we already know. In this narrative that they put out, they say he was live streaming a police operation and was interfering with their ability to operate, said Guevara's attorney. When they went, Giovanni Diaz, when they went to a judge to get warrants, apparently there wasn't enough evidence for anything other than traffic violations. So what they hit them with, so that's what they hit them with. When to speak about how unique it is to get hit with warrants for violations, traffic violations, a month or more after the alleged incident. The Cobbs County solicitor similarly dropped charges of improperly entering a roadway as a pedestrian, obstruction of law enforcement officer, and unlawful assembly a day after his arrest. Guevara, 47, was born in El Salvador and has been in the U.S. for more than 20 years. Diaz said that his deportation has been administratively closed for years and he had legal work permits and was in the process of applying for a green card when he was arrested. Guevara has worked for Spanish language media in Atlanta for 20 years, reporting on criminal justice issues. Guevara's reporting has won awards, including an Emmy. His reporting has uncovered corruption at the Honduran consulate in Georgia and documented the effective immigration enforcement around Atlanta. He founded MG News in June last year, focusing on immigration enforcement. Guevara recorded his own arrest, which was being viewed by more than 1 million followers on Facebook at the time. Since his arrest, ICE has shuttled the journalist to 6 different jails while fighting his release in state and federal court. A federal immigration attorney argued at a federal hearing that the report constituted a threat and merited his continued detention. Yeah, okay, dude. Come on, like let's be so for real right now. So not a citizen? Okay, what does that have to do with anything? He was legally allowed to be here and had a legal work permit. What are you talking about? Dude, just say what you want to say so we can ban you and just move on. Or just get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not even, like, what does not being a citizen have to do with anything? He was completely within his legal rights to do what he was doing, as he had a legal permit for working. He was legal. Yeah, he was guilty of filming while Brown. Specifically correct. Specifically, he was guilty while filming the Gestapo while being Brown's. That was his crime. He remains in the detention of ICE Processing Center in Folkestown, Georgia, about 5 hours southeast of Atlanta and just north of Jacksonville. I mean, like, this is wild that a journalist is in ICE detention. There's no charges against him at all, by the way. There's literally no charges at all. And he is still in an ICE detention center. That's really, really deeply dark stuff, folks. That is unsettling that that a person can be detained for an extended period of time while having no charges whatsoever. Does not a citizen equal screw this guy to some people? It just means that they're racist. Okay? Like 99% of the time when you hear a person questioning, like, oh wait, no, he wasn't a citizen then, or illegal, like, those are dog whistles. They're just racist people. The problem that the problems of their time has been in fact definitively settled, like the transcendence of Newton for the superior theory of Einstein. If the Earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off the edge by now. True. I mean, this is deeply, deeply disturbing stuff, folks. When we have a guy who has been here for 20 years, okay? He has been here for 20 years, completely legal. He's got a work permit. He's working towards his green card. Everything about this is by the book, okay? Everything about this is by the book. And has no charges at this time against him. The only thing that they could muster up was some traffic violations. And yet he remains in a ICE processing center. Deeply disturbing stuff. That's the best proof of non-flat Earth. True. That's probably the best explanation, right? Checkmate, flat earthers. Yeah, chew on that one. Thank you, Michael Hasser. That clown was probably not going to last here very long. Reporting on criminal justice issues shouldn't be a punishable offense. It shouldn't. Like, literally, he was doing nothing wrong. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. He was literally doing nothing wrong. They tried to hit him with obstruction, which was nonsense that was thrown out. He was doing absolutely nothing wrong. and he was arrested, and now is in an ICE detention center. Yeah, he said he was leaving, so I helped him. Yeah, I know. He started off with I knew this guy wasn't gonna. I knew that guy wasn't gonna last very long. These trolls aren't sending their best, or maybe they are. Maybe the quality of trolls that we get are have just been. I mean, like, seriously, just low effort. Okay, low effort. I warned him in the beginning. I warned him in the beginning that this was the wrong stream. Little bro took a wrong left turn. But that's okay. Low energy, boring. Yep. Supreme Court allows Trump administration to implement widespread education department layoffs. So it's happening, folks, with the blessing of the 9 law wizards. The Supreme Court on Monday, today, have allowed the Trump administration to move ahead with plans to carry out mass layoffs at the Department of Education that were blocked by a federal judge. The conservative supermajority, without any explanation, granted an emergency application from the administration that blocks the federal judge's ruling. The 3 court's liberal members objected, with Justice Sonia Sotomayor writing a blistering dissenting opinion. When the executive publicly announces its intent to break from the law and then executes on that promise, the judiciary's duty is to check that lawlessness not expedited. 100%, because, like, basically, like, the problem here is the erosion of separation of powers. Because what we're getting increasingly with these trash rulings is the consolidation of power to the executive. That's what's happening. He can fire all these people. This Department of Education is essentially going to be gone. It's going to be a ghost department. And all of this is done by the decision of one person, right? The administration, the executive. All these trolls have been washed out from under their bridges by floodwaters. Seriously. The court's majority is either willfully blind to the implication of the ruling or naive, but either way, the threat to our Constitution's separation of power is grave. It's exactly what I'm talking about. She said the decision also rewards clear defiance of the Constitution. The cases separate the dispute from the one the Supreme Court decided last week when it allowed the Trump administration to move ahead with plans to conduct layoffs across a wide range of government agencies. Again, the point of these layoffs also, it's not just like, oh, we're just going to fire a bunch of people. It's we're going to make these departments and agencies smaller so that they're easier to control. The people that are left will be replaced or will be filled in with Trump loyalists. All of this in the name of making government smaller, but in reality, smaller government it also means that it's going to get consolidated into fewer and fewer hands, just like Trump wants it. %, Shirley Barber. Linda McMahon will make students fight in a cage match to pay off student loans. Clink, thank you for the follow. In the Education Department case, Massachusetts-based U.S. District Judge Myung Joon wrote in his May 22 ruling that the evidence reveals that the defendant's true intention is to effectively dismantle the department without an authorizing statute because the department was made by Congress. This is why Sotomayor is concerned about the separation of power. The administration in its early months has sought to aggressively reduce the size of some government agencies to the point of making them ineffective, prompting claims that it has usurped the role of Congress, which set them up and funds them. Upon taking office earlier this year, President Trump issued an executive order saying his administration would take all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of the Department of Education. Again, this is something that Congress needs to do. Education Secretary Linda McMahon then ordered mass layoffs, saying in a memo circulating to employees that her ultimate goal was to shut down the department, a move that has not been approved by Congress. Solicitor General John Sauer said in court papers that the June's ruling should be put on hold because it encroaches on the president's authority to operate federal agencies. He also argues that plaintiffs challenging the move, including states, schools, district, and employee unions, do not have legal standing to bring their claims. Yeah, okay. Sauer said the reduction in force plans involves 1,378 employees, adding that the government has been crystal clear that it is not part of an effort to eliminate the department altogether, as some Republicans want. But, like, that's literally their explicit goal. This is not, this is not unambiguous. Yeah, they want the government so small it's just one guy. Linda McMahon will host a 50,000-person Royal Rumble with an elimination of student debt as the prize for the winner. Yeah, she'll make like one giant like Fortnite battle royale. That is to destroy it without outright obliterating, so they can say, see how incapable they are before taking it out. Yeah, but also they can't outright do it because this is something that Congress has to do. So what they're doing it is basically kneecapping it to the point where it doesn't function. So in a roundabout way, it is de facto destroying the Department of Education. This is basically the plot to Hunger Games. Yep. In court papers, New York Attorney General Letitia James said the challengers had shown that Trump's move was arbitrary and capricious, contrary to law and unconstitutional. Among other things, the reduction in force improperly eliminated or decimated teams that perform statutorily mandated tasks without considering, much less providing for, alternative mechanisms by which such duties can be satisfied. Furthermore, the policy violates affirmative statutory restrictions on the Secretary's authority to reallocate, consolidate, alter, or abolish statutory functions within the Department of Justice. Within the department. They want to turn the government into a payables department that just funds the privatization. Yep. So basically, the Supreme Court is with each ruling like this, is greenlighting this authoritarian consolidation. Because make no mistake about it, all these moves are also a consolidation of power, right? Who is going to be the people that are going to be running this stuff, right? It's going to be Trump, right, as the king, and it's going to be all his buddies, all the oligarchs and billionaires. That's who's going to be running things, who are running things. Looney Tunes, welcome. Hey folks, real quick. Since I have quite a handful of you here, folks, this Thursday we are going to have a super special guest on Thursday. It's going to be Globus the Elder, and he's going to be with us on Thursday about 6 p.m. to talk about the thing that he is most known for, which is AI. So we are going to have Globus the Elder on as a guest on Thursday about 6 p.m. So join us. Usual time 5. The stream starts at 5, but the guest will be around 6. So yeah, I wanted to say that at the beginning, but I forgot. So tune in this Thursday, folks. I'm gonna keep making a mention of that throughout the week. We had the White House turn into a Tesla dealership. We're one step away from idiocracy. Yep. I mean, Grandpa Trump. One step beyond idiocracy. At this point, the president in that movie had more brains than Trump. At least President Emilio, was it? Emilio Camacho? Oh my God, hold on. Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho. At least he was more entertaining. I'm buying the surfs and at this space at that time. It's all good. It's all good because you can always catch it on the rewind. That I'm gonna break it up, and I'm going to piece together that interview and throw it up on YouTube as well. So if you can't make it to the live stream, it's okay. It's okay. We'll be it'll be there on the replay, and I'm gonna separate it and post it as its own video. Betamax, thank you for the follow. Oh my goodness. Rondo, it has the electrolytes. It's what the plants crave. I never knew Mike Judge was a prophet. Betamax. Is that the predecessor to VHS? I'm 99% sure the was that the predecessor to the VHS? Yeah? Okay, gotcha. VHS or beta. Okay. RIP VHS tapes. I still have my Pokemon the first movie VHS original first movie. Oh, the competitor. Okay, so it was around the same technology, the same era. Gotcha. Looney Tunes are still alive and well. VCA archives. Yeah, I also know what that is and have used that, Michael Hasser. It's indeed not just the save button, but I've used floppy disks to save my work and do stuff for school. A minute and a half ago, a very long, a lifetime, a lifetime ago. It was an early rival to VHS, but no joke. Oh, okay. Yes, actually, you're right, Sir Liam Barber. You're right. You're right. Aircrafts are still using floppy for updates on older jets. Wow. 3.5 or 5 1/4? 3.5. So the more modern version is what I used. It's what I use. The 5 1/4. I don't think I've ever had to use it for school or anything like that. I think we used the 3.5 as the only ones that I had. And nukes. I first started playing with PCs. I had 5.25 running DOS. Jesus. I think I started on Windows 95. And then 98. Windows 98 was such a pain. My modding got canceled. No worries. It says so. Our nuclear command center has the most advanced computer system in the world. It says so right on the floppy drive. Well, I suppose it's probably more safety. It's more safe. It's safer than any of the technologies out nowadays. Especially anything that connects to the internet. That's a huge no-no. NASA still uses floppies as well. I did not know that. Is that why the SpaceX rockets keep blowing up? Cyclones can't hack us. Made my first album on 286, screaming at 60 megahertz with a meg of RAM and 40 megs of hard drive. Yes. Maybe because they forgot to update Windows. Oh, you know what's a great sound effect? The Windows like error. The thump. I need that as a sound effect. Y2K, I remember that. I can't believe like the whole society actually took that seriously. I mean, I'm being honest. I was I was a kid, and I was like, Jesus, what's gonna happen? It's critical stop. Okay, I need this. I'm gonna probably do this after I'm done. Is it critical? Y2K was tragic. I was pretty